The upstairs laughter wasn't the problem. It was the silence that followed. Thursday nights used to mean lesson plans and lab reports. That night was no different. I'd just finished grading my last chemistry quiz when I heard the cork pop upstairs. Renee's monthly girls' night was a reliable feature by now. She and her circle of designer handbag philosophers would take over the living room, sink into the sectional I'd financed on a payment plan, and dissect their husbands like it was a courtroom drama. I usually kept to the garage, door shut, headphones in, letting them run their little tribunal in peace. But that night, the Bluetooth speaker upstairs died mid-song. The voices carried. I didn't mean to listen. Girl, if Derek ever gave you butterflies, it was probably indigestion, Priya cackled. The room burst into shrieks and thigh slaps. Then Renee, my wife of 5 years, cut in with that slow, honeyed voice she reserved for maximum damage. He's sweet, but have you seen him without a shirt on? Another wave of laughter. It's not that bad, she went on. He's just economy-sized. My stomach dropped. I froze at the bottom of the stairs. My own breathing sounded loud enough to give me away. Travel pillow proportions, she added, with anxiety issues. The laughter turned quieter, meaner. Someone murmured, "Damn Renee." But she wasn't finished. I fake it. Every time. Otherwise he starts asking questions. Man's too gentle for his own good. I wanted a wolf. I got a lab puppy. That's when the silence hit. That's when they knew the line had snapped. I climbed the stairs. Slow. Steady. No rush, no shouting, just footsteps. When I turned into the living room, every head whipped toward me like kids caught sneaking out. Renee's mouth froze mid-smirk. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. I walked to the drink table, picked up my thermos, took a sip, and looked her dead in the eye. "Thanks for the clarity," I said. "I deserve better." Then I left. No one followed. No one apologized. The door clicked shut behind me with a finality no slammed fist could match. And in that quiet, my marriage ended. Not with a fight, not with tears, but with clarity. I wasn't a wolf. I wasn't a lab puppy. I was a man who just remembered his worth. I didn't slam a single door. I didn't throw a bag together in a rage. I walked straight to the bedroom. The same room where I'd folded her laundry, kissed her goodnight, and spent years believing I was building something real. I opened the closet, pulled my duffel off the shelf, and packed 2 pairs of jeans, a few shirts, my laptop, toiletries, my referee whistle, and the notebook I never let anyone read. I looked around. The room was tidy, staged, curated like her social feed. It felt like someone else's marriage. Her laughter still rang in my ears, warped and sticky like a fever dream. I passed the living room on my way out. Nobody said a word. They just sat frozen, glasses still in hand, like props from a play that lost its script. Renee's mouth moved, but nothing came out. I didn't give her the stage. I shut the front door softly. No theatrics. Just an ending. I drove. No music, no calls, just tires cutting through the dark. By the time I reached my brother Owen's driveway 40 minutes later, the texts were already piling up. "Where are you going? It was just a joke. Please don't do this. We need to talk. Answer me." I flipped the phone face down in the glove box. Owen opened the door barefoot, holding a soda and a bag of pretzels. "That bad?" I nodded. "Worse." He stepped back. "Couch is yours." We didn't talk much. Just sat on either end of the couch, the TV volume too low to matter. I didn't need advice. I needed a breath. The next morning his wife Dana poured me coffee and sat across from me. "We've noticed it for years," she said gently. "How she talks to you like you're the punchline. We never said anything because you always looked like you loved her." "I did," I said. "I just didn't realize I was the only one." Owen clapped a hand on my shoulder. "She doesn't get to keep doing this to you. You've given her everything. Time to give something to yourself." I nodded. "I think I already did." The texts kept coming. "I'm sorry. It was one stupid joke. Do you really want to throw away 5 years over one night?" I didn't answer. I wasn't throwing away 5 years. I was refusing to waste 5 more. I called in sick Monday, first time in 4 years. Principal Hendricks didn't even blink. Take what you need, coach. I ran the debate team and helped with track on the side, old habits from my own playing days. By midweek, the support turned personal. Students tagged me in old photos, a science fair win, a track meet, a whiteboard quote I'd scrawled about persistence. One kid, Malik, changed his profile picture to the two of us holding a regional trophy. Caption: "Real ones don't break. They rebuild." I hadn't told a soul what happened. But kids notice everything. They hear the tone under the tone. Renee used to say my students didn't matter. You're not changing lives. You're grading multiple choice tests. She was wrong. Because when my life cracked open, it wasn't her circle that showed up. It was them. She picked a cafe downtown, exposed brick, big windows, people pretending to write novels on laptops. I took the seat with my back to the wall. When Renee walked in, she looked overdone. Lipstick too sharp, hair too perfect, the kind of effort people put in when trying to convince you they're still worth something. "Hi," she said, sitting like it was a job interview. "Hi. I've been thinking about that night. About what I said." "I said nothing that night." "You did." She flinched. "It was a joke. We were drunk, you know how we get." "You turned me into a punchline, Renee. You didn't just laugh at me. You performed me." "I didn't mean. I didn't ask if you meant it. I said you did it." That shut her up. I slid a folder across the table. Inside were screenshots, messages to Priya from weeks before that night. A photo of my old gym shorts captioned "Dadcore." A picture of my whistle on the counter, labeled "Coach Cringe." A shot of my sketches for a community tutoring program, mocked as adorable. Her hands started to shake. "You've been saving these?" "No. I started paying attention after that night." "Big difference." She looked up, cheeks reddening. "I didn't know you felt embarrassed." "That's the problem. You never knew because you never looked." She leaned forward. "I didn't mean to tear you down. I was venting. You don't know what it's like being with someone who's always the good guy. It's exhausting. You never fight back." "You didn't want a partner," I said. "You wanted a storm. You got bored of peace." Her eyes welled up. "That's not fair." "Neither were the last 5 years." She put her hand on the folder. "Can we fix this?" "No. I was done the moment you made my body a punchline at your wine night." I stood, looked her in the eye. "I'm not here to scream. I'm not here to beg. I'm here to close the door." And I left her there with her folder full of receipts and her overpriced latte. Outside, the sun felt sharp after too much darkness. For the first time in years, I didn't feel small. I felt clean. I filed on a Monday. No fireworks, just a signature and 5 years lifted with the click of a pen. "Anything else, Mr. Alden?" the clerk asked. "No. That'll do." I walked out of the courthouse, not triumphant, just free. No alimony fight, no battle over furniture or the car or the ridiculous fake ficus she loved. I didn't even want my name on the mortgage. I just wanted the one thing stolen from me for years: peace. Renee called that night. I didn't answer. Her voicemail. "I saw the filing. I didn't think you'd actually do it." No apology. Just surprise, like she expected me to keep playing my role. I blocked the number. Word got back to me that her circle imploded not long after. Priya's husband found the group chat and packed a bag the same week. Another friend deleted every account she had. Loyalty, it turns out, evaporates fast once the wine stops pouring. Meanwhile, I went back to the gym. Nothing fancy, just iron and quiet. There's a kind of therapy in reps, in doing sets until your thoughts settle. Owen caught me on the bench press one afternoon. "You training for something?" "Yeah," I said. "My next chapter." I started showing up early to school again, pouring myself into the kids, the team, sketching out a plan I'd shelved years back. A free after-school tutoring and mentoring space for kids who needed somewhere to land. Renee used to call it cute. "Dreams don't pay bills, babe." She was right about that. But respect does. And that's what I was building now. One afternoon, an envelope showed up in the school office with my name on it, a handwritten note from a student's mother. Her son, she wrote, finally had direction because of the team. Tucked inside, a $300 check for the tutoring space. I sat with it a long time. Not because of the money, because someone believed in something Renee had mocked. I realized her laughter had never really been about me. It was projection. I reminded her what quiet strength looked like, and she didn't know what to do with that except try to shrink it. I wasn't shrinking anymore. 3 months after filing, the project landed its first grant, $8,000 from a local community fund I'd applied to on a random Saturday morning, coffee in hand, expecting nothing. The call came. "We believe in what you're building." I sat in my car for 10 minutes after that, just still. When you've been mocked for your dreams long enough, it takes your body a minute to register belief. Maya was the first person I told. The art teacher who stayed late painting banners nobody thanked her for. We'd grown close since everything fell apart. Nothing rushed, no rebound games, just two people who understood pouring yourself into something without applause. When I told her about the grant, she grinned so hard she covered her mouth. "I knew it. You were the only one who did," I said. "That's enough, isn't it?" It was. We built it on weekends, her designing the space, me drawing up the layout on a whiteboard. Former students showed up to help clear the old lot the city donated. A few parents brought power tools. Owen and Dana helped paint. It wasn't a building yet, but it was becoming real. The thing Renee said would never matter was now set in concrete. Literally. Maya asked me once, watching me help a kid hang drywall, "You ever think she's watching all this?" "Maybe." She texted a few weeks back. Said she hopes I'm doing well. "You respond?" "No." She didn't press, just handed me a water. "You're better now." "I'm not better because of what I lost," I said. "I'm better because I stopped asking people to see my worth." She smiled. "That's the difference between being strong and being seen as strong. Only one of them's real." 6 months later, we cut the ribbon. 2 stories, fresh paint, a sign out front. The Landing, a place to grow. Founded by Coach Marcus Alden. Kids poured in, some from rough homes, some just needing somewhere quiet to exist between school and whatever waited for them after. Free tutoring, mentoring, job readiness workshops. And on Fridays, Maya ran an art program that had even the toughest kids on the football team sketching in charcoal like it mattered. It did matter. All of it did. That spring, our team made it to the regional final. A team nobody expected much from, too young, too unsteady, still learning to play for each other instead of themselves. They pulled it off anyway. 1-point win, final buzzer, total chaos. I got drenched in Gatorade. My back still hurts from the dog pile. Local news picked it up. Beloved coach turns personal setback into community win. They showed footage of the center, a clip of Maya talking about leadership. They didn't show Renee, but I know she watched. The stream hit 6 figures in views, and an anonymous donation to the center came in under the name RK Foundation. Her initials. I didn't respond. Not out of spite. I was just done needing anyone's approval to feel real. I recorded the episode late one night in the office at the center, borrowed mic, a list of questions kids had asked over the past year. The podcast had started as a side project. Real talk for teens about life after failure, after betrayal. This episode was different. This one was mine. I cleared my throat and hit record. My name is Marcus Alden. I'm a teacher, a coach, and the founder of The Landing, a place built on second chances. Pause. I wasn't always this man. I spent years in a marriage where silence was mistaken for weakness, where kindness was mistaken for something to spend like currency. I was mocked quietly, sometimes to my face, if the joke was dressed up well enough. I stayed because I thought love was supposed to hurt sometimes. That being a good man meant tolerating disrespect in the name of commitment. I stared at the ceiling. Let me be clear, love without respect isn't love. It's theater. And I walked off that stage. I talked about the wine night that wasn't a wine night anymore, the quiet bag I packed, the nights on my brother's couch wondering if I'd ever feel whole. Then I talked about what came after. The gym, the grant, the building, the win, Maya, the peace. Not revenge. That part never mattered. What mattered was rebuilding, finding value in service again, in mentoring again, in a name that meant something once the dust settled. Some of you listening are like me. Quiet. Steady. The ones people lean on until they forget to say thank you. Maybe you're with someone who mistakes your stillness for weakness, who mocks your dreams when they think you can't hear. I heard it. And I walked. And I promise you, there's life on the other side. Not the movie kind. The kind that feels like standing in your own skin again. I exhaled. Don't let anyone tell you quiet is weakness. Quiet men build things that last. Quiet men raise teams. Quiet men walk away with their dignity when they've been disrespected one time too many. The light blinked off. I sat there, not angry, not broken. Just done. The episode went live the next morning. I didn't promote it. By lunch it had 1,000 downloads. Comments rolled in. You just told my story. Thank you for showing it's okay to leave when you're not respected. I thought being a man meant staying. Turns out it means knowing when to go. I never heard from Renee again. If she ever listens to that episode, she'll know this much. She didn't break me. She revealed me. And I'm better than I've ever been. Subscribe, and stay one step ahead of the ones who underestimate you. Next episode. This one's going to make tonight's story look like a warm-up.